I have to do this one over again, so just bear with me. This is a story that came out on Washington Post, April 27th, 2018. Now, the golf course where that incident occurred with five Black women, because the owners and a few other white guys that were out there felt they were golfing too slow, despite the fact they didn't even start their golf game. They are now losing business. Okay. They're losing members and they're losing business from other merchants that they dealt with in the immediate area. And people are speaking out. And there's also calls of death threats to the golf course. So people are calling on the phone, and some people are giving these men death threats for what they did. So let's get into this story. We know what happened. I'm not even going to play the video, but I'll leave the link to this article in the description box. In the days after white golf course owners called the police on five African American women, they said were not playing fast enough. Like that's a reason to call the police. You know, what they need to do is start heavily fining these people that call for petty reasons that are not even a police matter. That's what should happen. A Pennsylvania state senator called for an investigation into the incident, and the club is losing local business. So a lot of people that had memberships are getting refunds, and some of the local businesses that dealt with the golf course, they're now distancing themselves from them. On April 21st, the women were told by owners and employees of GrandView Golf Course in York County, Pennsylvania, that they were taking too long. The club offered to refund their memberships and then called 911. Video footage taken by one of the women shows the club owners, Jordan Chronister, saying and had been timing, he's been timing these women. Why? Were you timing everybody else? See, that's the problem. You always want to single out the Black people and then try to act like you had a justifiable reason. All right. So the club offered to refund their memberships, called 911. And then we saw the videotape. Not only were they arrogant, they were mocking these women and just acting like complete assholes towards them. All right. So the police did arrive, but the police turned around and left because they said it was not a law enforcement issue. And it wasn't. It wasn't. The police said that once officers arrived at the course, it was clear that law enforcement did not need to be involved. Why do the police need to be involved with you're not golfing fast enough? Here, we want to refund your membership. Who needs to call the police for that reason? Stupidity. I guess that's a high IQ for you, right? When you see these African American women dealing with these issues, for many people, it brings back this very long, very troubling history of racism and sexism, and just the denial of people's humanity, said State Senator Vincent Hughes, Philadelphia Democrat. It's 2018. On Wednesday, Hughes sent a letter to the Pennsylvania Human Relations Commission requesting an investigation into the incident at GrandView. In the letter, Hughes stated that the women believed they were asked to leave the course because of their race and gender. Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf, along with the State Human Relations Commission and the Governor's Advisory Commission on African American Affairs, issued a statement Thursday condemning racial discrimination in public places, including the arrest of two Black men at a Philadelphia Starbucks and the incident at GrandView. Okay, so both are under investigation. for racial discrimination. Okay, so now we urge business managers and owners to reflect upon the treatment of individuals who seek to patronize your business, the statement read. Hughes told the Washington Post that the incident at GrandView exposed many layers of racial tensions within golf. African Americans, from elite athletes to amateurs, have historically been blocked from advancing in the sport. And for decades, women have been barred from gaining membership to some of the country's most exclusive clubs. Okay, so Chronister on Monday initially came out and tried to put all of the blame on the Black women. Now, isn't that shocking? But since then, I guess now that they know they're being slapped with an investigation and they're losing business and they're losing members, they have suddenly come out to apologize, which we know is not genuine. Okay. It's not genuine. See, you know what it is. The police were not on their side like they were anticipating. They were not on their side on this incident. And now they see the governor and a state senator are now coming out against them and calling for an investigation. And they will be investigated, especially if the governor is involved. They will be investigated. GrandView has largely been silent apart from J.J. Chronister's apology to the Daily Record, but that has not stopped other companies from publicly distancing themselves from the club. Casta Cigars, a boutique cigar shop located about 5 miles from the golf club, was quick to denounce GrandView's confrontation of the 5 women. A few months ago, Casta Cigars sold a one-time order of 40 cigars to GrandView. Casta Cigars is now saying it will prohibit any future sales to the club. And apparently there was a situation where when the club bought the cigars, they said they were going to sell them wholesale and they ended up selling them retail. But this is what they told the owner of the cigar company. Then this happened and we're like, wait a minute, we're not about that. So the owner is saying we don't want any more involvement with GrandView. Another course, also called GrandView, and they're located on the opposite side of Pittsburgh from GrandView where the incident took place. They've been getting calls and death threats and all kinds of people leaving nasty messages. They are now distancing themselves from GrandView where the incident actually happened. And they want people to know it's not the correct golf course that they're calling. For Hughes, speaking out and calling for an investigation is one part of paying credit to the 5 women who were brave enough to stay on the course and wait for the police. His jurisdiction didn't include York County, but Hughes said, if I see it, I'm going to speak out. So although he's located in Philly, he saw what happened. He's still, because he's a state senator, he can technically still call for an investigation, and he did. He thinks that's the best way to stop this sort of behavior. Silence is their best comforter, Hughes said. Silence is like their fertilizer to grow. So they're losing business and they're under investigation. And the investigation is being called by the governor and a state senator. So there you have it. And they're getting exactly what they deserve. I'm glad they're losing money and losing business, and people are trying to get away from these folks. And ladies and gentlemen, whenever these folks are out in business calling the police on you for stupid shit, talking about, well, you didn't order first, and there's other people in there that didn't order either. And you saw the situation in California and Sacramento where black guy asked for the code for the bathroom. They said no, he didn't buy anything, but they gave it to a white guy that didn't buy nothing. And then we had the LA Fitness uh, situation where they would not give an explanation for why they ended the membership of a black man that was there for 8 years and never had any problems at the gym. So you see all of these things coming up in Waffle House. I mean, trust me, the list is longer than that. The only reason why we're seeing it now is because, see, people have the ability to pull their phones out and film the whole thing. So, they're not going to get away with this dirt quite as easy as they did in the past. Things are changing. It's not going to be a smooth transition to call the cops over petty shit. And I'm glad those cops called it the right way, realizing there was no crime that took place there. So why should they be called? That was stupid to call them in the first place. But please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. And if you have an Android device, please go out and get my new app. You will see the link to my app in the comment section. Peace, family.